clearly you want to become unstoppable because you realize the truth. When you're an unstoppable human being, you can't be stopped, and you absolutely are guaranteed to turn your dreams into reality, to achieve your biggest goals, to become the person you want to become, to create the life you want to create, and to thrive in every area of your life. When you're unstoppable, anything becomes possible. How cool would that be? But the problem is, way too many people, maybe yourself included, are asking the question, how can I become unstoppable? Now, here's the problem with that question. In every question we ask, there are presumptions that lie within the question. So when you ask yourself the question, or when you ask someone else the question, how can I be unstoppable? The presumption that underlies this question, or is embedded within this question, is that right now, today, you are not unstoppable. Because if you're saying to yourself, how can I become that person over there that's unstoppable? That means you're telling your brain, I believe that I am not that unstoppable person, which therefore means I am telling my brain I currently today am not unstoppable. And in this video, I want to help you to completely get rid of that garbage thinking and to realize the truth. You are unstoppable right now, and you're only one decision away. And then I'm going to give you step by step a mindset and a framework so you can solidify this way of thinking for yourself so that you are acting as the unstoppable person that you were created to be, so you can turn your dreams into reality, achieve your biggest goals, and thrive in every area of your life. My name's JJ Peller, author of the book Attract Your Potential, and it's kind of like when you're asking yourself, how can I become unstoppable? And I tell you, stop thinking about becoming unstoppable and realize the truth. You are unstoppable right now. It's kind of like that scene from the movie The Matrix. Do you remember that movie from the 1990s? I think it was published in produced in 1999. Great movie. Loved watching it. Lots of little life lessons that are just mind-blowing today as we look back at it. But there's one scene in particular that I want to remind you of and bring your attention back to. Do you remember when Morpheus was fighting Neo in the dojo? And they're sparring and they're hand-to-hand combat, and Neo's coming at Morpheus. He's like, all this karate and jiu-jitsu and all this stuff, and Morpheus just batting everything away. Neo never makes contact with him. He never hits him. He doesn't actually get a hit on him. And what does Morpheus say? He says, stop trying to hit me and hit me. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. And what I'm suggesting to you is you've got to stop trying to be unstoppable or become unstoppable and just be unstoppable. By definition, the definition of unstoppable is really simple. I looked it up, probably should have memorized it, but it's this: impossible to stop or prevent, unbeatable. One more time for the people in the back. What's the definition of unstoppable? Impossible to stop or prevent, unbeatable. Here's the thing. If you just decide that you won't be stopped, then therefore you will be unstoppable. Now, there's way more to it that you can use to develop this sense of confidence and conviction in your ability and current ability to be unstoppable. But what I want to get across to you is that by definition, if you just choose to know for certain for yourself that no matter what obstacles come your way, no matter what adversities you face, no matter what challenges you come up against, no matter how much life is trying to kick your butt, you won't be stopped. Now, by the way, being unstoppable doesn't mean you won't get knocked down. It doesn't mean you won't fail. It doesn't mean you won't fall short at times from your goal. It doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. It doesn't even mean you won't face entire seasons of struggle and maybe even suffering at times. That's part of the human experience. It's a common denominator for all of us. We all face seasons of struggle. Some of us, it's a small s struggle and it's short-lived. For some of us, it's a big S and capital letter struggle, and we struggle and we endure it to the point of like suffering almost maybe in certain areas and aspects of life. But all of us face these same difficulties. So deciding to be unstoppable doesn't mean that you won't face these adversities and challenges and obstacles. What it means is that even when life punches you in the face and you fall down or you fall short or you get fired or you lose the business or you whatever, you get back up, you dust it off, and you just keep moving forward. This is the common thread among all of those humans that you've ever admired and respected and looked up to in your life who have done incredible things. people throughout history or in your current reality today that you look to and you admire. You're like, how did that person achieve so much? How is that person so successful? Those people endured struggle. They decided to be unstoppable. They decided that whatever came against them, however much they might have failed or fallen short, they were going to get back up and they were going to keep going. And friend, I simply want to encourage you that if you want to be an unstoppable human being, you can be right now because you are. Because you are, by definition, if you choose to decide that you will not be stopped. You will not be beaten over the course of your lifetime. You will turn your dreams into reality. Now, there's 3 specific things you need to do to really solidify this for yourself. Because if you don't do these 3 things, then you're going to hold yourself back from having the emotional strength and courage and boldness and bravery that you need to be an unstoppable person through those difficult times. Because it's one thing to sit here and watch this video and think to yourself, okay, I am unstoppable. I heard JJ say, just decide to be unstoppable and I'll be unstoppable. It's easy to hear that, and in the moment when you've got nothing in front of you, just say, I'm unstoppable. But what about the first time you get punched in the face? As Mike Tyson has famously said, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. As soon as you get punched in the face by life, by the adversities, by the obstacles, what are you going to do? You've got to fall back on a game plan. You've got to fall back on something that's solid, that holds you true to this identity of being an unstoppable person. And by the way, before I get to those 3 things, I really want to go through this because I think this mindset, and even if you've heard it before, please allow this as an opportunity to be reminded of this simple truth that is a powerful, profound concept that could totally transform our lives if we allow it. And it's this. And by the way, I first heard this in high school. We had a character coach in football who she came in, was actually the head coach's wife, and she came in and she taught us different things about how to be good humans, high quality humans, high character humans. And this is one that stuck. And eventually I had a poster that stayed up in my room that had this exact phrasing on it. And I want to share it with you, maybe just remind you of it if it's been a while since you've heard it, because this flow of words is literally the secret to unlocking our greatest potential and turning dreams into reality. And it's this: our thoughts, and I'll explain it in a second because even though it sounds so simple and obvious, there's depth to this that we need to extract so that we can really use it to our fullest advantage. Our thoughts become our words become our actions become our habits become our character becomes our destiny. Now, what this shows us is that our thoughts are the seeds of our destiny that eventually grows through all the things we do, the words we speak, the actions we take, the habits we have, the character of the person we become. All of that leads to us creating a destiny. And the reason you're probably watching this is because you're like, man, I want to be unstoppable so I can turn my dreams into reality, or otherwise said, achieve the destiny that I know that I'm called here for, the one I know that I've been created to experience. Is that true for you? You see, if you really want to turn your destiny that you know and believe that you are called for, the life you want to live, into actual concrete reality, you have to realize it starts with your thoughts. And this might sound so simple, and you're like, yeah, JJ, I know that my thoughts are important and meaningful, but like, do you really execute on this truth in your daily life? Do you think about the thoughts you think? Do you condition your mind to have only positive, optimistic, and hopeful thoughts? And by the way, I'm not saying negative thoughts don't come to all of us. But the question is, what are the thoughts we dwell on? You see, better said is not just thoughts, but the thoughts we dwell on, the ones we allow into our head. I've heard Jim Rohn say, stand guard at the door of your mind and do not let the garbage in. And the garbage might be in the form of television shows or social media or the politics of the world or of the United States, or a neighbor or a friend or someone that's your colleague or coworker who's just talking stuff that is not useful. That's just garbage. And as they say, garbage in, garbage out. If you allow the garbage into your life, into your, not just your mind, but your heart and your soul, because that's what happens when people speak into your life. Whether you like it or not, whenever someone speaks into your life, if it's just watching a simple social media clip, video, or a post on social media, or a family member says something to you, or a coworker in passing, or you're watching the television, whatever it is you are putting your eyes and your ears on, you are also giving access to that thing, to your heart, to your mind, to your soul, to plant seeds that you can then either choose to water by dwelling on those thoughts and thinking about them again and again and again and making those your predominant thoughts, or you can choose to feed your mind with uplifting, joyful, hopeful, happy, encouraging, uplifting comments and words and wisdom that help you to grow the garden in your mind, your heart, and your soul that ultimately will lead to your destiny. Because when you plant those seeds and you water them, what goes in you must come out of you. The things that you think based on the things you hear, based on what you observe, ultimately become the words that you speak. Like, do you ever find yourself listening to, like, maybe some music that's maybe not the best quality? Let's just say in terms of the language used and the pictures they're portraying through the language that they're using, the pictures, the stories they're telling through the words, the lyrics. Like, do you ever listen to music that you're just like, man, that's kind of garbage music? Like, I know it. It's getting into you. And then eventually, like, one day you're like, you hear it and you're like, oh, yeah, and you're jamming along. And then in your mind are these images and thoughts of what's been planted in you by the music. Like, we cannot separate what we hear from who we become. If you truly want to change your life, you've got to change what you listen to. Let me say it again for the people in the back. If you truly want to change your life, you've got to change what and who you listen to. What are you feeding your mind with? Because those are the seeds that will become the words that eventually come out of your mouth. Because just like listening to the songs, eventually you'll start to repeat them because they're catchy tunes. So you sing them and you think it's no big deal. But the reality is, it is a big deal. Why? Because those words you speak eventually become your actions. And you might say, well, I don't know. I don't, like, I listen to that music and I might sing the lyrics once in a while, but I don't live that out. I don't take those actions. Are you sure? Are you 100% certain that none of your actions have anything to do with what you're feeding your mind? Because I can virtually guarantee you that I can show you, if we zoomed out from your life as a third-party observer, just kind of like in that, what's the Christmas Carol? Is that what it is? Where Ebenezer Scrooge goes on the journeys with the different ghosts and, like, looks into his life at different seasons of his life. Let's take you on a journey of your life and look at your life and look into your life and say, how are you actually living your life? Because even if you're like, well, man, if you heard the lyrics of the music that I listen to and what I'm singing, I don't live that at all. But is by listening to that stuff and singing that stuff holding you back from a higher quality mindset, a higher quality life? I can almost guarantee you that it is. Because there's only so many things we can think about at once. There's only so many thoughts we can hear and accept at the conscious level at once. Certainly more at the unconscious level, which is an even bigger deal, in this case especially. But the truth is, we can only retain so much, consciously and unconsciously. So the question becomes, if you're feeding your mind with stuff that's garbage or maybe not the best nutrients for your mind and cultivating a mind that makes you unstoppable, then you're not leaving enough room for the stuff that truly will feed your mind in a positive way to give you the energy and the fuel you need to turn your dreams into reality. Now the question becomes, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to live this destiny? How much do you want to get out of your current situation, accelerate your success, catapult yourself to new levels of achievement, of financial life, of health, of wellness, of relationships? Like, how bad do you want to get to that place that is as far away from your current reality as possible? Then you got to do whatever it takes to feed your mind seeds of words that eventually will come out of you as your own words. Once they get into you, they will come out of you. You've got to feed yourself words and wisdom and encouragement and voices that uplift you, that give you the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the belief, the hope, the optimism in a bigger, better, brighter future. Because when you see a bigger, better, brighter future, it changes everything. Most people stay stuck in life at whatever level they are because they don't actually see a bigger, better, brighter future. Most people stay stuck because all they focus on is the fact that they're stuck. And they tell themselves again and again and again and again and again and again and again, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck. I don't see a path forward. I don't see my next step. I don't see how this could ever change. And they stay stuck. What is that? That's their thoughts coming out as words, coming out as actions, or in this case, lack of actions. If all your words are out of your mouth are, man, I feel stuck. I feel like I can't go anywhere. I feel like I don't have an option. I don't feel like I can do anything. What are your actions going to be? Non-existent. It's going to be the same actions that have kept you stuck to this point in your life. And friend, I do not want that for you. The reason I make these videos is to inspire, encourage, empower, and equip you to access more of your power and your potential so that you can get rid of the chains that are holding you back from moving forward. You can move forward faster once you flip the switch with your mindset and your skill set in all of this mind work. Then your actions become your habits. They say, and I've read plenty of books that address the challenge or issue of depression in humans because I'm fascinated with how the human mind works. And by the way, depression is just a terrible thing that really hurts many, many, many people around the world. And so that's one reason I'm passionate about it, is how can we help people turn around their depression, get out of their depression and move forward out of it into a bigger, better, brighter life, to hope, to optimism, to thriving. And they say that much of depression comes from dwelling. I'm certainly not an expert in this. I'm just telling you, repeating essentially what I've read in many different books. Depression comes from dwelling on hopeless thoughts. It comes from dwelling on the negative. It comes from dwelling on uncertainty. It comes from dwelling on and having repetitive thoughts of negativity, of hopelessness. That's what it is. Those are habits of thought. And your habits of thought become your habits of word, become your habits of action, become your habits generally in life, which eventually someone will look into your life and say, that's your character. That's who you are. What are the habits? Are your habits about eating healthy, about feeding your mind, about doing positive things, about putting in your best effort, about believing you're unstoppable? Or are they about eating junk food, dwelling on the negative, just getting sucked into negative social media, getting sucked into television shows that just destroy your mind and your potential and hold you back from your greater power? That's your character. All of your thoughts, your words, your actions build you a habits that eventually become your character. And your character, who you become, will eventually create your destiny. That literally, who you become will literally create your reality and your future. As Jim Rohn said, and it's the epigraph in my book, Attract Your Potential. I love it so much. Jim Rohn said, success is not to be pursued. It's to be attracted by the person you become. Your destiny, likewise, will be attracted by the person you become. Otherwise said, your character. Now, how can you, here's the 3 steps I'm about to give you so that you can realize how you can be unstoppable right now. Because of course I said you make the decision to be unstoppable and you will be unstoppable. Yes, it requires a decision, but it also requires a strengthening of that decision. So you can reaffirm that decision. You can strengthen that decision that you've made so that in the moments that you face the adversities and the obstacles and the challenges, as I said earlier, the times life punches you in the face, you know what you can come back to. So the very first thing you must do to be unstoppable consistently over time is decide exactly what you want. Decide exactly what you want. Now, the problem that most people face in the world is they never do this first step. Like if I sat down right next to you right now, I came to your home, came to your office, wherever, it doesn't matter. We can meet outside at the park, the playground, play some chess or checkers together. I don't care. If we sat down, you and I sat down next to each other right now, and I asked you, what do you want most in life? What do you want most in life? What would you say to me? Put in the comments, what would you say to the question posed to you, what do you want most in life? I genuinely would love to know what your answer to that is. Put it in the comments right now. What do you want most in life? What do you want most? Most people cannot answer that. Most people never actually decide what they truly want. It's kind of like if you go into the grocery store and you're just like, I'm going to get some food. Have you ever done that? Like, I need some food at home. You haven't meal planned. You haven't prepped. You don't know, like, you don't have a go-to list. You just walk into the grocery store and you're like, I need to get some stuff, I think. I think I should fill my fridge and my pantry because I should probably get some food for the week. And you go in the grocery, and what do? You get a cart, maybe, and you just start wandering slowly, just pushing it around, looking at all the stuff, and maybe smiling at people. I don't know. Do you smile at people in the grocery store, smiling at people? Or maybe do you scowl at people? That's not you. You wouldn't be watching this video. What do? You just kind of roam, and you're like, yeah, no, let's put that one in the cart. That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be a good meal. Let's put that one in the cart. You just wander. What's your pace usually when you go to the grocery store without a list and without a plan? Slow. Very slow. Timid. Hesitant. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to pass anything that I might need because I don't actually know what it needs, so I better be able to see it, give myself time to decide in the moment if I need it or not, if I want it or not. But what happened? Have you ever done this, though? You're like, maybe if you're married and your spouse asks you, hey, can you go pick up milk at the grocery store really quick? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, where is it again? Where's the milk? I haven't been to the grocery in a while. Or the cheese or whatever. I don't know why I'm picking all the dairy products. What do you do when you go to the grocery? You need one thing of milk. You don't even pick up a cart, nothing, because you know you can carry it with one hand. Maybe you need a cart. I don't know for certain. But like what I do is I go straight, dude, I walk fast because I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I need. I'm going to go get it. I don't need to look at anything else. I'm laser focused on moving to the back of the grocery store so I can grab the milk, take it up to the front, check out, pay, and get home. Because I know exactly what I want. Not the general, like, oh, I need some stuff from the grocery. I need a gallon of milk. I'm going to the grocery for that. What's the pace that I move at? Fast. High tempo. I'm not wandering. I'm not looking around. I'm laser focused. My head's forward. I'm moving forward. You see, when you know exactly what you want, it gives you energy. It gives you a sense of drive. And when you show up knowing exactly what you want, other people notice. Do you know why? Because way too many people have no clue what they want. Just as I just said a few minutes ago, most people don't know what they want. So when they see someone like you who knows exactly what you want, they're like, wow, that person's on a mission. That person knows exactly where he or she is going. And we move to the side for people that are on a mission moving forward with purpose, going after exactly what they want. We move to the side, but then we observe and we're like, I want to be a part of that. This is a great way to attract more of the right people into your life. We know exactly what you want. You will draw and attract more people into your life because you will become a magnet to other people. Because people want what they don't have, or people want what they want. People want to be around people that have what they want. So people that don't know what they want and they don't live and walk and move with purpose want to be around people that know exactly what they want and they're going somewhere and they're on mission, on purpose, going somewhere, making the effort. You see what I'm saying here? There's a different energy and aliveness to the people that know exactly what they want. And then the second thing you must do, because this is vitally important to underpin this decision about exactly what you want, is know why you want it. Know why you want this. It's not enough to want something. The power is not in the want, in my opinion. The power is in the why do you want it. The power is in the why do you want it. That's why Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, became took off. Because people understand this concept. They want to have meaning behind the things they do in life. They don't want it to just be about the work or the thing they're doing or where they're going to the goal. They want it to have a purpose. They want to feel on purpose. They want to know they have a why that's underpinning the things that they're doing. Same thing here. If you want to be unstoppable, you got to know your why for why you want exactly what you want. And what I mean by that is, like, do you want to write a book? Do you want to write and publish a New York Times bestseller? Do you want to speak on stages around the world? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to volunteer 100 hours a month? I'm making this stuff up. I don't know what it is exactly that you want. Again, tell me in the comments below. But why do you want that thing? Now, there's a great coach, co-founder of Strategic Coach, Dan Sullivan. He says, want what you want. You don't have to have a reason why. Just say, I want it. That's my reason. I want it. Cool. There are certain things in life that I think are, like, dude, you want to get a Ferrari or Lamborghini or a yacht or whatever. I mean, I'm, again, making stuff up. You want a big, beautiful home. You want a laptop computer. You want a certain book because you want it. Great. Awesome. But if you want to achieve and create a big destiny, like you know you're here to do something special, then the bigger the goals you go after, the bigger the obstacles that will come against you. And the bigger the obstacles and adversities that are going to be thrown at you by life, the more you have to be fueled with faith and belief that you are unstoppable, because you're going to have that strength to beat down that wall, to go around it, to climb over it, to get to the other side, to keep moving down the path that you're meant to be on towards your destiny. And so that's why I believe, yes, there are certain things you can say, I want that because I want it. Cool. I want to build $1 billion business. Why? Because I want to. Well, I think eventually when you get to like $1 million in revenue, you might be like, whoo, my butt's getting kicked. Or when you aren't making any kind of money as you start this business from scratch, like, oh, maybe I don't really want to build $1 billion business. You got to know the why behind the want. You must have a why for the want to give you the power and the strength to move through the adversities and the challenges that ultimately you will face on your journey of being unstoppable in the direction of your destiny. Third and finally, and when I get done with this, I got a couple of other extra bonus items I need to share with you that are vitally important. So hang around with me once I write this one down and explain it to you. Fully commit. I'm going to get to this in a second. I'm writing it down to remind me to get to it because sometimes I get so fired up and passionate, as you can probably tell, that I want to make sure I get to the stuff that I tell you I'm going to get to. Fully commit. Now, this doesn't say halfway commit. It doesn't say kind of commit. It says fully commit. Are you fully committed to the things that you want? Are you fully committed to being unstoppable? Because if you're not, then at the first sign of danger, of challenge, of adversity, it's way more likely that you'll stop, that you will be stopped. But if you're fully committed to your why for what you want, and you refuse to quit, you refuse to stop, then you can make it happen. No matter where you are in your life today, no matter how little of success you've had, or how little you've achieved, or how little progress you feel you're making, you can do something special with your life. But you've got to believe in it, and you've got to be fully committed to it, and you got to know the why. But you've got to be fully committed. It's kind of like if you want to swim across a pool, you can't just dip your toe in. This sounds obvious, but a lot of people do this with what they want. They might know what they want and why they want it, but if they're not fully committed, if you're not fully committed, if you're dipping your toe in the water, you cannot swim across the pool. You got to jump in. You got to jump all the way in. You got to get in. You got to start swimming. And you got to know you're going to get there. And you got to know why you want to get to the other side. And you got to stay fully committed. Now, if you want to be unstoppable in those moments when life is just punching you in the face, you feel like your back's against the ropes, it's just boom, boom, pummeling you again and again and again with haymaker after haymaker after haymaker. You're like, what is going on? Then, friend, let me encourage you with something. Come back to the decision you made to be fully committed. Remind yourself of the why. Remind yourself of what you want. Get up and just keep going. There's a great section of one of my favorite books called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he says, every great thing that anyone's ever achieved in the world, that person or anyone who's achieved greatness in anything had to pass the persistence test. You, friend, if you're going after big dreams and big goals, must pass the persistence test. That means there's going to be this hidden guide, as he says in the book. There's going to be a hidden guide that comes into your life and takes you along this journey to beat you up, to try to get you to stop, to try to get you to quit. Because this hidden guide wants to know how bad you want to achieve your biggest dreams and goals. Because if you don't want it bad enough, if you don't want what you want and have a why that's deep enough, you're not fully committed, then you'll quit like most people do. And you'll quit 3 feet short of gold, like most people do. The biggest breakthroughs happen right at the moment that you feel like you are having your biggest breakdown. When you feel like you can't get beat up anymore by life, you feel like your face is in the dirt and life is behind you on your back like an MMA fight just beating you down like this, you're like, I can't get up. Nothing's going to work. If you just persist and you keep swinging away, eventually something good will happen. I remember I had a basketball coach in middle school who said, if you're in a fight and you're getting punched in the face, the best thing you can do is just start swinging back. He was not a professional boxer by any stretch of the imagination, but the imagery is clear. When you're getting punched in the face in a fight, what you have to do is start swinging back. Don't just sit there and get beat up. Move forward. Take action. Know what you want and persist, because you will only achieve something great in your life if you pass the persistence test. And here's one great strategy that I'm going to leave you with to pass the persistence test. There's the father of psychology, William James, has many, many, many quotes. You can just Google William James, father of psychology in America, and he's got all kinds of incredible quotes that give you life wisdom, encouragement. But there's one that I love that I want to share with you right now as we depart, as we finish up this video. And it's this. Act, look, feel successful, conduct yourself accordingly, and you will be amazed at the positive results. Act, look, feel successful. Conduct yourself accordingly, and you will be amazed at the positive results. Friend, whatever success looks like or means to you in this destiny, the thing you want to go after, see yourself, imagine yourself as that person living that life. What are the words you say to yourself? What are the thoughts you think? What are the actions you take? Who is the character of that person? And then act, look, feel successful in that way, and keep showing up as that person. Because if you show up with the mindset of that person, with the attitude, the energy of that person, with the feelings and the moods of that person, with the thought patterns of that person, day after day after day, I can virtually guarantee you will eventually become that person. And friend, I hope this message has encouraged you. If it has, please subscribe. And if it's really encouraged you, please hit share and send this to a friend, a teammate, a colleague, a family member, someone you know that could be encouraged, empowered, and equipped by this message that you just watched. I'd really appreciate sharing this with someone that can also be positively impacted and influenced by this message. And friend, whatever you are going after, let me remind you to refuse to settle for anything less than your greatest potential, because you are capable of so much more than you've ever even started to imagine. And friend, I hope you dream big, believe big, think big, act big, stay bold, go after your biggest dreams, because they are possible. Refuse to quit, refuse to settle, just keep going, and great things will happen. Keep going, friend. I'll see you in the next one.